All right, we're talking about gear for your next op. All right, dudes, real quick. This is gonna be a super long video about boring kit stuff. It might be not as boring for you, but it does bore me. I do have a lot of freaking kit. People think I'm a gear whore, but this stuff is really just to do the things I like doing, which is training and doing tactics out in the woods. So just keep in mind throughout this whole thing, this is not the way, it's a way or a few ways that you could use your gear or pack your gear so you can just go out in the woods and have fun. You can go out butt naked with just, mags taped to your back and a JanSport backpack or something if you wanted, and a rifle. And you could do half of the shit that I do. I take all this stuff to be more immersed, help my friends be more immersed, and take care of them and take care of myself so we're not miserable when we're out there. And also to kind of push some of our capabilities a little bit farther than just a typical, ragtag militia into more of something that's airsoft MILSIM worthy, right? So make sure you're taking all this with a grain of salt. It's not the end all be all. If you need help, ask. But most of all, just, get it all ready and then let's go get out, have some fun and be safe. So this is mostly for my fire team when we go out and do our Operation Slate Mountain. All right, we're talking about gear for your next op. First of all, you gotta have gloves on your body, okay? Those normally go in a cargo pocket. Let's take the helmet off and everything so I can talk better. You got the helmet, standard bump helmet with screw. Got my MVG mount on top, action camera on the side, and a freaking noggin temple lock on the back with some Team Windy pads. It really helps keep this on your head even with the strap off. Then I've got my comms. Right now they're not dialed into anything because this is the radio that's my backup. The other radio that I actually use is on my plate carrier. Then we got stuff that's also in my pockets on body. So obviously I'll probably have my phone and my wallet and my keys. In this pocket, I've got a headlamp with a beanie in case I get cold. That way I don't have to go digging in my pack for it. And this will do a lot to keep you warm, even if you don't have like a jacket or anything on. I got a camo compact that stays in there in my pocket so I can reapply camo paint on my face when I need to. I've also got a pocket knife and a handheld flashlight just for smaller admin tasks that I don't need a headlamp for. So all of that stays in my left cargo pocket. Next pocket is my right cargo pocket. I've got some survival gear in a little emergency freaking med bag that I got from my brother. He's what they call a stitch bitch. And they rig parachutes and do all this stuff with the ejection seat, which has some medical items in it. But what I put in there just to organize it, some iodine tablets for if I need to purify water, and a taped up and silenced steel and flint striker so I can start fires. So that's the most important part. That's why it's wrapped up and silenced in some tape and some padding. The rest of it that's in here is a space blanket to keep me warm in case I don't have any of my shit on my pack, and then some 550 cord. And all that can be used in conjunction with the other pocket to keep me warm, safe, and alive. Other things I have on my body, just a simple neck gaiter. It keeps my face and neck pretty camouflaged for the most part, and it goes over my ears, so my ears are also camouflaged. Camouflage is a very important part of not being seen and getting shot at and dying. So that's why I have cami compacts in here for my face, so it can get my eyes and everything that's not covered by this. If it gets too hot, I'll put this down or take it all the way off and put it in my pocket and camo paint the rest of my face. Next thing you should have is a rifle. Any kind of rifle will do, it doesn't matter, but it should probably be an AR because that's the most common caliber you'll find for a rifle here in America. Plus, it uses the same mags all your buddies are going to use. Obviously, there should be a mag in the gun. You should also have a stock, and I just have a little cord lock here that holds my, or a stock, a freaking sling. You should also have a cord lock on there so you can do up your sling so it's ready to pull out when you need it and put on, and it's not all tangled and mangled up. You should also have an optic of some sort. I prefer any kind of prism or red dot because they're easier to use. LPVOs give you too much choice, and thinking about choices will get you killed. So there's a red dot, your prism optic. I also have backup irons on the front and back. A non-negotiable as well is a light. You should have one of those. And then if you can, a suppressor. For the op, we're probably going to use BFAs for most of it until we do the reactive contact drills where we will use live rounds, in which case you would take that BFA off. Next thing we'll go over is a chest rig. I would recommend a chest rig and not a plate carrier when we're doing outdoor recon / ambush ops, that kind of thing, because it's lighter, and if we need to get away, you can do it quickly without gassing yourself like you would with a heavy ass plate carrier. These things are super freaking heavy, and they don't carry as much as your chest rig would if it's not super overt and built out like mine. But the whole point is the weight. You want to get away quick without getting tired, use a chest rig, right? So in my chest rig, I carry 10 mags. I got 2 in each mag pouch and 2 in the Velcro map pockets in the back with some little pulls I made of paracord and tape. It helped me get to them easier, so I don't have to dig my fingers in there. Next, in the front here, I've got a Write in the Rain notebook, and that is to make out plans and hand out to you guys or something else like that. Write down frequencies and that kind of thing for radios. I have usually a couple pens. Right now I just have a Sharpie in there. Sometimes I'll have a multi-tool in the other pocket. I've got 2 grenade pouches on each side. Right now I have placeholders, but they are going to have grenades in them when we go to the op, and you will have 2 grenades each as well. I'll also have a freaking backpack full of more. Obviously, airsoft. We're gonna have a medical insert from one of those freaking ejection seat med kits. It's got other crap in there as well, with a tourniquet underneath it. In this pouch, I have a rangefinder, just a cheap golf rangefinder that was in camo. It works pretty good. I went over this grenade, but I also got some foamy ear pro in there as well, in case it gets a little too loud with the pyro. On this side, I have my night vision, the cheap ass $500 Chinese MVG 50. So I use a general purpose pouch like this one on my chest rig because it's like $500, and I don't care if it gets broken, and it's shitty anyway. But it is also on a little cable that is that's bungeed to or clipped onto my chest rig as well. So that is pretty much for my chest rig with the fighting kit. Oh, I did forget, I also have a radio in here. I mentioned that earlier. And it usually has my PTT on my offhand side, so I can shoulder my stock without any wires and crap getting in the way. Okay, so this is a LBX, or made in Brazil, knockoff of the LPT, made in wherever the hell they make it. Freaking Navy SEAL split chest rig. I forget what the hell they call it, the LBT 60, 90, whatever the heck. But it works pretty good. You can make it real small, you can make it real big if you're wearing, you know, warming layers and jackets and things like that. The radio is a Baofeng radio, if you guys were curious, pretty standard. Also, I missed that I have in my other radio pouch a water bottle that just kind of supplements me having body water worn on my body, so that I don't have to always rely on a pack that carries a Camelback with it. I'll also usually carry 2 1-liter water bottles in my pack or on my person as well. All right, let's talk about more clothing stuff. When you are out sweating, if it's cold, that sweat is going to stay on your body and freeze and fucking kill you. So wear something that is synthetic, like this little thin thermal layer, right? It's very, very thin. And it is synthetic or wool, preferably both of those materials, so it can wick moisture, so it can wick moisture off your body and keep you not wet, right? It'll then start drying from your body heat and then go out into the atmosphere, so you don't have to worry about sweating and freezing to death from all your sweat, okay? When we're rucking, you really, really want to focus on sweat management and not moving too quickly and getting absolutely soaked, because if it is cold out there, you are absolutely going to freeze to death and die, okay? So that was a thermal underlayer, usually something you'd wear under something like a combat top, like this, that also has that kind of poly cotton blend that's a little bit worse at wicking stuff, but it still keeps you pretty cool as far as your top goes. Because if you also had a field top, like the one back there, which is just all of the camo material like it is on my sleeves here, that would be pretty warm. It does still do a pretty good job, and I do wear those in the summer, but the field top is usually not recommended in the summer. The combat tops will probably keep you a little colder. Under that, I don't always wear one, especially if it's hot, but I have a just synthetic, like fucking cheap ass workout shirt from Target. All right, other things. When you're talking about pants, you probably want cami pants because they're made out of ripstop, and that's going to really help you not rip your clothes and break them. But also, these have the knee pad inserts because they're the combat pant cut. Your field pants won't have those, but you can always put a knee pad over your pants, like this one. Right? There's a knee pad you can just Velcro over your pants if you don't have combat pants. Also, sometimes if I know it's gonna rain or if there's snow, this is gonna keep my boots and my lower pant legs from being drenched and then getting heavy from the extra water. These are French M90 canvas boot gaiters. You can get all types of different synthetic boot gaiters and all that really cheap off Amazon. I just like these because they're olive drab and they're really rugged and cheap, so I don't care if they break. Everything should be cheap because if it breaks, you shouldn't care. You're not funded by the military. Anyway, this little loop will go over your boot. There's a clip on the front that clips into your shoelace, and then that goes around your boot, and now you have a boot gaiter. Cool. So those are really good. I recommend them, and usually I'll wear these all the time, even if I don't have rain or snow issues out there. Another thing you should focus on is getting some really nice boots. These are Danners. I like Danners. I use Danners in the Marine Corps. They're also really good in the civilian world. I got mid-height, ankle height hikers because they're really fucking comfortable, and I've never complained about my feet even on week-long hunting trips or rucks. These are really nice. Make sure you are spending about 3 hours or so, which is how long I spent, wearing different boots and walking around with them in the store, because then you're really going to find out if there's any hot spots before you spend $200 or so on a pair of boots that you end up not liking. So make sure you do due diligence and you try them out really well. Lots of surplus boots are out there that are good. Another thing that you should wear are some wool or synthetic and wool blend socks. I have 2 pairs in my pack and a pair on my feet. Those are really good because they keep you warm even when they're wet. That's wool. It is a very awesome material for insulating you and keeping you warm even when the material is wet. Cotton, when it's wet, will not keep you warm. It will just be cold. So that's why wool is better than cotton, and synthetic is probably better than both. All right, as for my ruck, it looks really heavy because I am the team leader and I carry a bunch of extra shit. Some of this shit I will also pass off to you guys as my fire team, because spreading the love is better than me just having it all and breaking my knees. So this is a Phil B system, or the FILBE pack system. It's got a freaking smaller assault pack that I'll normally use for things like going and setting ambushes or raids in airsoft. But I will clip that onto the top of my main ruck. So assault pack, main ruck. I'll clip that on the top with these extra clips. The Army Molly 2 ruck packs also do this clipping system, which is awesome. There's buckles all over. These buckles also double as a compression buckle. So if there's too much shit in my pack and I need to compress it or put like an isomat or an axe or something on top, I can do that and just slide it in, and now it is secure on the top and bottom. There's also Molly all over these motherfuckers, and you can just put pouches all over the freaking place. I prefer not to, because then I tend to pack too much and my shit gets really heavy. So we'll talk about the assault pack later. Let's talk about the main ruck from the Marine Corps' Philby system. So this is the main ruck. It's got big pass-throughs on the side where you can also put big Molly pouches on. But underneath here, I slide my axe. That comes in handy for getting little saplings and trees and bushes to camouflage our fighting positions. I also have in here a pack of, I think, 20 or 30 sandbags. The rest of them are in my other Alice pack. But we will fill these sandbags with the dirt that we dig out of our little fighting holes and trench systems, and then fortify them even more up at the top of them. That is it for this pass through here. Normally, if it's long stuff that goes in there, I'll run it through the pass through, close these two buckles, and tighten these compression straps. I also have this this canteen pouch on the bottom that the pass-through can hold stuff in like that, so it doesn't move around. That is exactly what I do on the other side of the pack. So in here, I'll unbuckle this so I can access it easier. In this pass-through on the left, I have a camo net that is in a little like sleeping pillow sack. I keep that so if I need to put my pack down in an operational rally point or ORP, which we will do, you can camouflage your shit and not get it stolen. Then I also have in there a little tripod camping stool. I have to unbuckle this one as well. But you'll see how it goes through this pass through here and then goes inside my little canteen pouch at the bottom. That helps it not slide out and fall and then get lost in our patrol when nobody is looking, right? But this is really nice because I don't like sitting on the fucking ground all the time. I'm old, my knees and ass hurt, so that helps me keep shit off the ground. It is also used as sort of a tripod when I want a more stable shooting position, typically if I'm shooting down at the ground level when I'm up on a hill. All right, last thing on the outside is the little two compression buckles on the bottom of the pack that I put a really cheap Thermarest closed cell foam freaking sleeping mat. It's just like the foldable isomat that the Marine Corps has, but it's got little egg carton things in it. It's really nice on my back when I sleep. It also keeps me really warm because I am off of the cold ground that will sap the heat out of your body when you're sleeping on the cold ground. So it's nice to have a barrier like this. I would at least in your sleeping system have at least this sleeping mat and then a sleeping bag or a blanket, wubby, or really thick insulated pants and an insulated jacket to sleep with on top of this. Okay, so any of those combinations will work. I also do on the inside carry a inflatable sleeping mat. So let's get to the inside. All right, another thing I forgot to mention are all these little paracord tie downs I have all over the pack. That's so I can put vegetation on it when I know I need to be more camouflaged. All right, so there's a zipper on this top lid that's on the front and on the inside. In there, I normally keep a poncho just in case I get rained on while I'm rucking. I can then just break out this little cheap plastic emergency poncho, and if I need to camouflage it, I can put the camo net from the side of my backpack over that as well, because I'm not worried about that getting wet. The other thing I carry in here is nothing. Oh, why is that? You need to have extra room for shit so you can carry stuff like all this extra crap I might give you later on when I show you in the video. So make sure you always have extra room in your packs and on your gear so you can carry more things off objective when we're done fucking people up. All right, going deeper in the main compartment of the pack, I have a contractor trash bag. That is to help waterproof items that are in my bag if I need it or if my waterproof bag fails. Inside this little hydration pouch with it in the back here towards my back on the frame, I have the heaviest thing in my pack, because if it's closer to you on the frame of the pack, it's going to be a lot easier to load, and we all like having easy loads. So you have an e-tool. I normally keep that just right there where a hydration pouch would go, because my hydration bladder is in my assault pack. Then we've got a little hygiene kit with some boo-boo stuff in it. I have some dude wipes so I can wipe my ass and it feels really nice and clean when I poop. I also will wipe my nuts, my back, my ass, and my shoulders and armpits and my feet with all this as a field shower, so I don't get fucking disgusting and get diseases on my skin when I'm out doing dirty, muddy things. This is my boo-boo kit with a bunch of alcohol pads, swabs, some small bandages and band-aids and that kind of thing. I also have a Marine Corps issue little sewing kit. It's always really good to know how to sew because you can fix a whole lot of stuff without completely ruining it. You also have all of my hygiene kit in here. It's got foot powder. I have some of my waterproofing deodorant stick thing that I use to waterproof my boots. I have toothpaste. I have Listerine. I have hand sanitizer, lotion, because getting cracked hands and lips don't feel good. So that's also why I got Burt's Bees in there. And a couple of hot hands for comfort if at night I get really freaking cold. Also a toothbrush. So there you go. That is my hygiene kit. The next thing I have in here is a little Marine Corps issue hygiene bag. That holds my fire starting kit with a lighter, a bunch of flammable objects, a fire steel, and some fire rope. It also has a roll of Flectarn, based as fuck, goon tape, so I can tape things up like medical bandages, broken items on my kit, and that kind of thing, or just camouflage stuff. I also have a survival kit with a little survival paracord bracelet with the striker. I've got fishing line and reels. I have a little line saw that you can use to saw small things with, and then a lighter with some duct tape wrapped around it. I have multiple lighters everywhere. There's also a survival card saw in here. So that's that. I also have more line kit of various types of line, twine, paracord, and a extra tent stake in there. I have some bungee cables with metal hooks on them. I also have zip ties and my eating spork thing and some more friggin' paracord line kit. So this is basically a line kit I use to repair anything, lash more things onto my backpack, or tie up my tarp, which is right here. This is one of those, let's see the brand, it's Stan Sport medium duty tarp that's made of ripstop. It's super lightweight, super packable, and I have a bunch of cords on the end of each of the tie outs on the corners of my tarp, so I can easily just use the cord on there and tie it to a tree or whatever, and then 2 or 3 stakes in here as well to help me with that. So I never really have to go in this line kit unless anyone needs extra or we're doing something else. My tarp is already taken care of because everything's in the bag. The rest of the stuff in here is pretty simple. I've got some extra camo netting that I just kind of tossed in here for the guys in case you guys need to camo your helmets, your boonie covers, or whatever else, your shoulders or something, or your backpacks. I also have 2 pairs of wool and synthetic blend socks from Carhartt, and these are really, really thick ones for when it gets cold, but they're also my backup socks when these motherfuckers get sweaty. The last thing in here is the rest of my sleeping system. I have a sea bag with a sleeping bag in here. I'm not gonna grab it, but I also have a inflatable sleeping mat. It is about the size of a water bottle when it's compressed and put in its bag. So really easy. Now that everything is out of the main pouch of my ruck, I'm gonna show you how to pack it. So what you wanna do is make sure that your pack is fully open and you have all of the compression straps off like I just did. Well, there's one right here. So all the compression straps are unbuckled. Now I'm gonna take my sleeping bag, which is my most big and lofty item, and put it at the very bottom and squeeze it down as much as I can and compress it and compress it and compress it until there's no more air left in that waterproof bag, or my sea bag in this case, which is really freaking heavy and I need to switch out. But now that that's all nice, compressed and compact down there, it's a really lightweight platform to put all of my heavier stuff up higher and closer to my back and shoulders so I can more easily control that weight. So what I'm gonna do now is put my less big and bulky items like my hygiene kit, my socks, my line kit, all that is just going nicely down in there. Right, sleeping bag, hygiene kit, socks, line kit, and I'm just gonna keep adding stuff on top. My tarps next. Right, there goes one of my gloves. And that was about it, okay? So now anything else that needs to go on here that's heavy, like my e-tool that's in here, maybe I can throw my sandbags on top and close the lid over. Anything like that can go on top that's really heavy. But really right now I just will tighten this up, and that is where I close the lid and put all the rest of my stuff through the pass-throughs on the sides. So once all that's in there, my axe too, then I'll put my compression straps back on and tighten everything down, because a tight ruck is a light ruck, okay? So make sure you're getting everything as tight as it can. The next thing is, when you do tighten these things down, let me push this down a little bit. When you do tighten these things down, you see how all of my extra strap is rolled up and taped up or velcroed down? That's so there's not big long pack straps like this that are just dangling around and causing movement, because that is also part of your camouflage. Movement attracts the human eye, so the less movement and things flying around on your pack while you walk or ruck is better for camouflage, okay? All right, so we just talked about the ruck. Usually you'd use a ruck to bring all of your equipment out to contact. So we park the car, conceal it. Now we're gonna do a patrol in to wherever we're gonna make our patrol base, set down our rucks, build our little bivouac or camp, set out security, and now we mission plan. What we're mission planning for is to use all of our fighting gear, like our chest rig, our rifle, and an assault pack that has all of our mission essential items, to now go do attacks, harassing attacks, ambushes, raids, you know, knocking out bunkers, trenches, all that kind of stuff, fighting, okay? You don't want to fight with the big ass ruck on. We're going to teach you how to try to fight with the ruck on, but we will mostly be doing all that other stuff with either an assault pack, or you can just not bring your ruck and just have all that stuff on your body, in your chest rig and in your cami pants and that kind of stuff, okay? So this is the assault pack. This is the Marine Corps issue Philby assault pack. This one I bought, I think, off Army Navy Outdoors or Venture Surplus for really cheap, along with the main pack, because I liked it so much in the Corps. So let's go through the little pouch first. The little pouch, or the lid of a backpack, is usually where I put the thing I'm going to use first, because it's easier to access and I don't have to dig through everything, all right? So in this case, if we're doing a recon, I have binos. These are Vortex ones. It comes with a chest pack, but I'm wearing a chest rig, so I put this in here. The next thing I have in here is something that will keep me warm or dry when it rains or if it gets cold when I'm on the objective, you know, sitting in my trench waiting to get out and push on the assault, right? So I might get really cold because I'm sitting there. Well, this is a really cheap Walmart camping section packable jacket, rain jacket. It's also pretty insulated and does not breathe at fucking all, which makes it very warm. Always get your warming layers in a size up so you can fit all of your other shit, your kit and other clothes underneath it. So this is a large. All right, I'm just gonna put this to the side. And then in there, in the little netting pouch, I have 2 extra magazines. You should always carry extra ammo in your assault pack to resupply yourself or your buddies if you're out of the ammo that's on your body, on your chest rig or your belt or your plate carrier, okay? So that stuff's in there. Next thing is the main pouch. The main pouch has my water bladder. It's a 2-liter water bladder in the little water pouch that's on the back. Next to it, I have a folding silky saw. This is really good for if we just assaulted an objective and now we're going to occupy it for a while, so we need to make defensive positions. I might throw my E-tool in here as well. Then we can dig that little hole and cover it up with camouflage from the environment that I cut off of trees and bushes with this. So it's very nice to use for that. The thing that I tossed out on the ground was the first thing that I have in this kit, and that is my other snivel gear that keeps me warm or helps me camouflage. I have a folded sniper veil in coyote tan that I spray painted, and it helps break up my silhouette, but I can still look through it if I need to be in an observation post and not be seen, but still see out. I can use this to cover my face or my rifle. The next thing is a folded up Cabela's special freaking ghillie leaf suit jacket. It's just made of mesh with a zipper on the front, and it has a hood and sleeves and torso that are all covered in this nice camo leafy material. I use that in case I also need to camouflage my body while I'm moving to an objective. I also sometimes pull that out and I'll put it over my backpack and close the lid on it, or just tie it onto the top of my backpack so it keeps my backpack that's normally a spray painted coyote tan look more camouflaged and keeps it concealed better, right? The next thing I've got are 3 pouches. The black one has all of my electronics support in there. So I've got a bunch of batteries for my flashlights, batteries for my optics and my night vision, and a battery bank to recharge anything I need to with all the cableage that comes with it. Okay, so that is there for any electronic items you need to keep up in the field. The next thing is this tan one, and this one is going to have all of my signaling stuff in there. I have a glow belt if I need to leave like a breadcrumb or something so you know I'm in the area. I have an American flag bandana. You can put the glow belt around a tree or something so people know you're near or watching you. I've got a little roll of twine so I can tie all 10 of these glow sticks and do a buzzsaw where I make the glow stick kind of in a circle pattern when I swing the stick around or the string around. And that buzzsaw can be used for different signaling techniques. I also can use those glow sticks to mark rooms that we've cleared or windows so people know to shift fire and not fucking shoot us through the window. I also have this little cow call. I use this for hunting, but it's also useful to try and signal somebody or get their attention without yelling like a human would. And I think that is pretty much it. Oh, there's a surprise flares. I got a pack of emergency flares from my brother once again. Not emitting any crimes or anything. There should have been dermot. Next thing is this green pouch, and this one's really important for me as a team leader because it has all of my army men in it for fun. It also has some duct tape so I can tie things together, some cami paint to get my friends ready, some little freaking Sharpies for writing things down. I don't think I showed you the cami paint sticks off camera there. And it also has all of my order of battle cards to show people different things when we're doing mission planning. So this bag is there to help with mission planning and help you visualize how we're going to do something with the army men and these cards and that kind of thing. So we can plan before we get there. You pretty much know what it's going to look like and how we're going to do it. That's what that's for. All right, the last thing down here at the bottom is another big ass cami net that's tied together with a little bungee, and that is so we can camouflage more of our fighting position if we need to make one. The next thing is kind of like my little survival pouch in the mesh in the front of this flap, and that is basically just some paracord and a life straw if I don't have enough water that I brought with me or use it all because we were there a little longer than we thought. I can use that. And then again, I have the iodine tablets in my chest rig that I can purify water with as well. That was the assault pack. All right, next thing is a ammo can that says Ops on it in black Sharpie, which is why you can't see it very well. But this is stuff that I'll hand out to you guys in case you're missing something before we get out there. So it's a stand-in for you because you were dumb and forgot to pack it, okay? It also has some things that are going to help us do our op and have some immersion or have some objectives to do, okay? So obviously there's some glow sticks at the bottom over there, and I'm not going to take them out, but that can be used for marking objectives that we might need to find in the dark when we're going and doing our night op overnight. I've also got all this shock cord with a bag of little barrel locks, and that's so you can make those sling retainers that I have on my rifle I showed you earlier. It's also so you can use this like boot bands and just wrap them around your arms and legs and all of your gear, and then you can tie along with the paracord and all that stuff I have too. You can just squeeze in and tie down a bunch of vegetation to you and keep you camouflaged, right? So that's what that is. These are some extra ponchos. There's another one in here, but this one's blue, which is why I wrapped it in this little green medical bag. But you got 3 ponchos here for our fire team. If you guys don't have something to keep rain off you and keep you dry and it starts pouring, I'll give you, or you'll be given these so you can pop them out when you need them. All right, the next thing is a bunch of fucking iPro. There's gonna be some dudes with airsoft, but also blanks can do crazy treacherous things. So we have iPro, and you will fucking wear it while we're doing any type of live fire or force on force or any drills. You will wear this, okay? So have a place to put this in your pocket, on your chest rig, in your backpack, wherever, and then you can use it when we need to. The next thing is gonna be some electronic road flares. So these are what we're gonna use for the objectives when we go find our little speedballs, which is basically gonna be this ammo can and a couple other ammo cans that I'm gonna set out around our AO, and we're gonna have to go patrol around and do recon to find them. On top of these ammo cans is gonna be one of these flares. So we'll be able to see that from a little bit of ways, especially once it gets darker. And our objective is to find these, turn them off, and then grab the drill out on a piece of paper that's gonna be in here. Once we read that drill, it'll say, hey, do react to contact, assault through. So then we'll do react to contact right there and simulate us assaulting through instead of trying to run away or flank them, right? So that's the whole point of these things. They have all sorts of different modes, which is really cool. I'll probably put it on this one, but that's that, okay? Here's another example of kit that you can use that I wouldn't necessarily recommend, but if you only had this kit because you were a cool guy, flat range operator or whatever, this is a way that you can kind of get away with it and still do an op, okay? So, obviously I have a plate carrier on. It really sucks to have a ruck on with a plate carrier. I also have a battle belt that is clipped into the top flap of my Alice pack, okay? The reason I am able to get away with this is much like the Philby, This Alice pack also has a frame that has space in between the back of the backpack and your actual back. So I can wear this plate on my back perfectly fine because there's space there, okay? Obviously, I can't wear my belt because I have a belt strap on, or a kidney strap on my Alice pack that helps it take all the weight off of my shoulders, right? It's really nice. If you have the choice, I would get a backpack that has a kidney strap that goes around your waist so it can take all that weight off your shoulders. The next thing is a chest strap or sternum strap. If your backpack does not have sternum straps on the shoulder straps, you're fucked up. Go find a new backpack because that's gonna really hurt, okay? So make sure you have a chest strap. It really helps. All right, so on this Alice pack, like I said before, I have my battle belt, because I'm a flat range cool operator, just around the freaking backpack. So now I can unclip it like this, if I can do it, right? And now I can take that out of the flap of my ruck and put that belt on when I go do a mission, right? Like a ambush or something like that. Now I can just put this belt on and boom, now I have a spot for an extra mag. Oh, there's one in there already. I got, you know, meds on here. I got my tourniquet, my kind of lickies and chewies bag. I got my medical bag. I've got a camelback on the back, and I'm pretty much set. But now I also have armor, right? Which is another huge deal or consideration if you want to fight dudes and not also get fought back and hit in the chest. So that is a really good option. I also have, you know, my extra mag carry that I have not a tourniquet in there right now, but I did because it's in my chest rig. And then I also have a radio in a knockoff Spiritus Pangolin pouch, okay? So that's it for the chest or the plate carrier. Then I also have on this belt, it's a Tacticon 2-piece belt. My Velcro belt is underneath right now, but this is working just fine over top of my combat top, right? It just goes right over top and the Velcro doesn't bother me. I have a clip with some extra gloves, a mag pouch, a multi-tool pouch, and a pistol mag pouch if I was using a pistol. I also have a dump pouch to put extra things in there. I also have this roll one, if the light will hit it. Roll one with some more medical stuff in there like gauze and bandages and things. And then another tourniquet above that in a little plate carrier shoulder strap that I Velcroed onto it. Okay, so you can make things work. If you don't have all the kit, you don't have to go buy all the kit. You can use what you have or buy surplus stuff that works. Don't let all the Gucci gunfighter dudes tell you you need to buy better stuff. If it breaks and you die, hey man, that was your choice, you bought it, right? But more likely than not, we are not going to have a full-blown military, unmilitary peer force come and attack us, right? So just chill out, man. Have fun. All my shit is knockoff. It looks real. It looks great. It works fine. And it was a fraction of the price. So nobody cares if you're wearing all the Spiritus or Ferro Concept shit. Just buy knockoffs and you'll be fine with it. Don't really care, right? I use this stuff all the time. If you guys get in the comments and start saying, oh, that stuff's gonna break and you're gonna die, that's crazy, that's cool. I've been using this shit way heavier and way harder than you probably. I run ops with multiple people all throughout the year and I use this stuff really hard and I've never broken it. I don't think there's a single thing I have broken but a red dot. So there's that. Okay, so for that alternate loadout Alice pack, which is super cheap and easy to get because they're really old and there's a ton of them, I have the bare minimum in here that you need to survive, okay? I have a shamag for camouflaging and warming my neck and head up when I'm sleeping. I also have an inflatable mat. I have a second one in case it pops. I don't have an ISO mat on here because this is supposed to be the loadout. That's not ideal, right? I have some of those sandbags that aren't even freaking tied up and stuff. They're just mushed in here, okay? I have some used smoke grenades at the bottom that are done with. I'll throw those. There's another one. And then I have the bare minimum to sleep and keep myself warm and keep myself dry is a USGI Surplus M81 Woodland Parka Gore-Tex, whatever you want to call it. If I had to go to sleep and this was all I had, that's cool. It'll do fine. If you're sleeping on these mats, that's cool. It'll do even better. And you don't even need a sleeping bag or a blanket or whatever. You'll be pretty okay. If it gets cold though, you're fucked. So this is the bare minimum, okay? In here I've also got 3 mag pouches I could put extra mags in. I've got 2 big pouches or on each side and 1 even bigger one on the center on the outside. I can fit other stuff in there that was in my other ruck, right? I've also got a couple of water bottles in here. In place of this binder with all my tactics in it, I could put an e-tool or a water bladder. Okay, there's even a flashlight down here for some reason. All that bare minimum, right? I have something to sleep in and keep me warm and keep me dry. I have an ability to carry, you know, sandbags and other things on objective, ammo, food, all that kind of stuff. And I also have my plate carrier with my fighting load on it, medical, and then my belt with some extra things and more medical on it, right? So you can make it work if you don't have chest rigs and freaking load-bearing equipment and load-bearing vests and belt kit and a ruck and all that stuff. You can do with some kind of like a salt pack and some warming layers and a fighting load. It's all up to you, man. The world is your oyster. Awaken your mind.